Hey guys, Subkansi here. I'm bringing you guys 2020 January Legend Ranking List. This is my second JP One Piece Treasure Cruise tier list video. And last time, we walked through the process of how I made my ranking list in details. So if you missed that one, please make sure to check that out in order to fully grasp what I'm presenting in this video. Links will be provided in the comment section down below. First of all, I want to highly praise the designers at One Piece Treasure Cruise JP side. Whoever thought of the mechanics of these two New Year Zuko legends, they've done a phenomenal job. Luffy and Zorro plus Osoba Mask Sanji, these two legends are not only super powerful, but also very fun to play with. And I know the majority of you guys are really interested to know my opinion about which character is better than the other. And that's exactly what we are about to find out in a second. Before I do that, I have to re-emphasize this once again, that I'm evaluating a unit's overall value in terms of offense, defense, and utility. And it of course could be very subjective. So you don't have to 100% agree with me. Just feel free to make your own list like I showed in my first video. I'm just offering my opinions for those who value my assessment. Also, to better evaluate and measure a unit's true value, I added 2 extra categories in my spreadsheet. And these are Captain Ability Offense Prime, Special Defense columns. We will look into these 2 columns further in a minute. But briefly speaking, Captain Ability Offense Prime column is added to better characterize legends whose Captain Ability attack boost varies before and after their special or Captain action is used, especially dual units. Special Defense column is added and branched out from Special Utility column to much accurately measure the value of utility characters like Shirahoshi and Manshuri, Corazon, or Christmas Trapper, and sort of do utility units justice. In addition, since we now have 2 units who boost either attack or amplify orb effect by 2.75 times, plus we have Captain Ability attack boosts up to almost 5 times in this game, I had to alter the calibration and used a stricter grading standard. Also, some Captain abilities or special skills now depend on probability. For example, Tandem Orbs have huge effect on Soba Mask Sanji's Captain attack boost. Or certain HP condition has to be met for some effects to be active. For example, Kizuna, Sanji, and Zorro, V2 Nami, or Komurasaki. So when I grade these units, probability will also be taken into consideration. So with these new adjustments, what you should expect from this update video is total value ratio will be reduced down to a range between 70 to 80%. Utility function units are expected to be ranked higher than the last list. Flat attack boost captains are expected to be ranked higher than the last list as well. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's take Luffy Zorro and Soba Mask Sanji as our examples for this video. First column, overall adaptability. Since I care a lot about this category, I gave its weight multiplier a maximum 5. For Soba Mask Sanji, he has incredible captain action that bypasses 95% of the debuffs, and he is a rainbow captain. He should have had 10 out of 10 for this column. However, his lack of defense could potentially be a problem for longer contents, like Garp Challenge or New Training Forests. So I deducted 0.1 point and left him with a very high 9.9. As for Luffy and Zorro, apart from their switch effect, They do not have any anti-debuff mechanic like Soba Match Sanji does, but they have better captain defense boost. Plus, Wa Orb system not only maintains high damage output in general, but also prevents from enemies' orb manipulation interruptions. However, it also means it's harder to get mid orb when they are used as captain. So I gave them 9.6 for this column. Again, only on this column do we take all attributes into consideration. After this column, we investigate each category respectively. The next two columns are Captain Ability Offense, Captain Ability Offense Prime, which represent normal state Captain Attack Boost and momentary Captain Attack Boost at its prime, when the unit becomes dual or Captain Action is used. The multiplier I used are 4 and 5 respectively. The new calibration is set as follows. For 4.75 times boosters, I gave them 10. For 4.5 times boosters, I gave them 9.7, so on and so forth. For Soba Mask Sanji, his captain attack boost heavily depends on tendon orbs. So to get an average of it, we need to know how often he as a captain increases tendon orbs received. So I just dedicated 15 minutes of my life to figure that out. Please take a look at the video on the right. As you can see, prior to getting to this stage, the team has already gathered 8 tendon orbs, and Lucy has 79 turns perfect barrier. Yeah, I know, it's another cool way to use Luffy-Taro and Zorro as our tendon orbs counter. So 15 minutes later, as you can see, the team has gathered 94 tendon orbs within 80 turns. So 94 minus 8, and then divided by 480. 480 comes from 80 multiplied by 6, as each turn I tapped 6 units. We will get 17.9% tendon orb rate. 79% multiplied by 4.25 plus 82.1% multiplied by 3.5 equals approximately 3.63. Based on our calibration standard, Soba Mask Sanji gets 8.9 on this column. As for Luffy and Zorro, they have Wa Orb system, and it allows us to maintain Wa Orbs fairly easily as long as we hit enemies with color advantage. And I did similar calculation. Their normal state Captain Attack Boost average is around 3.75, so I gave them 9 on this column. When Sanji is at his prime, meaning his captain action is activated, he gets almost 1 million typeless extra bonus damage output. And on top of that, his attack disregards enemy's defense. I had to give him 10 out of 10 on his captain offense prime column. As for Luffy and Zorro at their prime, when they become dual unit, they boost attack by 4 times multiplied by 1.25 Wa Orbs increase, which equals to 5. But don't be misled to think there are 5 times booster captains. In reality, if we use double Luffy and Zorro, their prime should be 4 multiplied by 4 and multiplied by 1.25, which is 20, and the square root of it is 4.47. So they are around 4.5 times captain. So I gave them 9.6 on this column. The next column is captain defense. The multiplier I used is 1.5, as I don't care that much about defense. The calibration is set like I did in my first video. 20% damage reduction, 9.7. 1.35 times HP boosters, 9.6. 1.25 times HP boosters, 9.4. For Sunjai, he doesn't provide any captain defense, so I gave him 8 on this column. For Luffy and Zorro, I gave them 9.5. The next column is Captain Ability Utility. Soba Mask Sunjai has one of the most unique and useful captain action in the game right now. He avoids all debuffs and gets 1 million bonus damage output that disregards enemies' defense. He has the potential to be the most versatile captain in the game, so I gave him 12 on this column. For Luffy and Zorro, their Wa Orb system not only maintains high damage output, but also can potentially save an Orb Manipulator utility unit from your crew. So I gave them 9.8. By the way, I love the sound effect when we hit Wa with perfect on last attack. Next column, Team Building. The multiplier I used is 1.5. Generally speaking, the more units you have in your box, the lower this multiplier should be. Soba Mask Sunjai is a rainbow captain, so 10 out of 10 for him on this column. Whereas Luffy and Zorro are 2 types captain, so I gave them 9 on this column. Next up, Switch Effect. Sunjai doesn't have any, so 0 on this column for him. And I almost gave Luffy and Zorro a 12 on this column, as their switch effect is so useful, especially when they are used as sub. But when they are used as captain, they sometimes could be bound by enemy. And in that case, we just can't switch them, so I left them a maximum 10 on this column. Next column, Special Offense. Probably one of the categories that I care about the most, so 5 multiplier on this column. The new calibration standard is set as follows. Double effects, 10 out of 10. 2.75 times boosters, 9.6. 2.5 times boosters, 9.4. So on and so forth. For Sunjai, it's very tricky, as he can only boost attack up to 2.5 times if we use his special twice on the same turn, meaning either double Sunjai captains or multiple specials are used on the same turn when he is sub. After careful consideration, I gave him 9.2 on this column. As for Luffy and Zorro, hands down, 12 on this column. 2.75 times Orb Amplified plus 3 times Chain Lock is insane. The other unit I gave 12 on this column is V2 category. Both destroys enemies if debuff is not present. Next column, Special Offense Extended. The multiplier is set at 2.5, since neither of them have any, 0 on both cells. Next column, Special Defense. As mentioned earlier, this is a column that branched out from Special Utility column. It explores if a special provides any healing or damage reduction effect. The multiplier I used is 3. And again, since neither of them have any, 0 on both cells. Next column, Special Utility. The multiplier I used is 4, as I care a lot about utility. Soba Mask Sunjai's special shuffles all orbs, including block, into tandem, a type of orb that is very seldom to be interrupted or debuffed by enemy. It is super convenient. I gave him 4.5 on this column. As for Luffy and Zorro, I gave them 1, as their skill could potentially get rid of enemies' resilience debuff. The last column is sub. Multiplier I used is 1.5. Since both are incredibly powerful and useful subs, I gave them both 10 on this column. Finally, it's time for our ranking list, the moment we've all been waiting for. Before I sign out, I'd like to give a little conclusion for the comparison of these two units I love. Generally speaking, the shorter the contents, the stronger Osoba Master Sanji is than Luffy Taro and Zorojuro. The longer the contents, the stronger Luffy Taro and Zorojuro is than Soba Master Sanji. Now sit back and enjoy my ranking list.